Up with KREM begins now.
Hi friends, good morning. So good to see you here on this Monday. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. We also want to welcome you in if you're streaming us on KREM 2+. We have meteorologist Thomas Patrick here joining us on this Weather Impact Alert Day. Thomas, it is the Monday after Super Bowl. Some say today should be a holiday. It's the Monday of Mondays, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, we would probably be working.
We would still be
anyways.
working.
Yeah, so it ended up being pretty late night for us, even though the game ended at what, like 7:30 our time. But we are waking up to just some very cold temperatures. Made sure to grab my hat, my earmuffs, my gloves on the way out the door because guess what? The temperature is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is it as of this morning. The wind chill, not a factor just because the winds are just outright calm. But look at that in Coeur d'Alene and St. Mary's. Current temperature of -6. So it is extremely frigid across the inland northwest this morning. This is by far the coldest weather we've had so far this winter.
Now let's take you live outside here at 6:02. We're taking a live look at the traffic impact this morning of Division and Lincoln Road right now. You can see right now not many vehicles out on the roads, maybe some patchy fogs in certain areas. We saw some patchy fog in Spokane Valley. Not anything to cause any delays on the morning commute at this hour, but of course with it being this cold, you're going to want to give yourself some time as you head out the door to scrape off your windshield and warm up your vehicle. We'll keep you updated on the traffic conditions and we'll bring you another check of weather and traffic in the next 30 minutes. And as we enter this coldest snap of the winter season, we sent out our Brandon T. Jones live in Spokane with some weather reminders. Brandon, what should we know when the temperatures drop this low? It is so cold. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, of course, one of the most important things is just make sure you're dressed appropriately for this type of weather. So that means a lot of layers, loose fitting clothing that you can layer up and keep warm, whether it's some gloves or mittens, a hat, maybe a neck garter or something along those lines. But just making sure you've got the proper attire on to keep you nice and warm because these temperatures can get dangerous if you're out in those cold weather for long periods of time. And since those frigid temps will be around for a few days, I got a couple more reminders for you. When you're warming up those cars, always make sure to open your garage. That prevents carbon monoxide poisoning. Another helpful tip, bring in your snow brush or ice scraper. That creates easy access and speeds things up as you get ready to head out the doors. The next one is a question I've been asking myself all winter to keep pipes freezing on an outside wall. These are some reminders from the National Weather Service. 1, let hot and cold water trickle or drip at night from a faucet. 2, open up your cabinet doors to allow more heat to get to uninsulated pipes under a sink or near an outer wall. 3, make sure your heat is left on and not set to lower than 55 degrees. And then the last one, if you plan on being away from your house, have someone go and check on it, someone you can rely on or someone you can know will be responsible to make sure that heat is staying on to keep things safe inside of your house. Another one really quick, just make sure you have a warm blanket inside of the car or any extra clothing in case you break down or maybe the battery doesn't start up and you're having some car issues. But ultimately, just make sure you're staying warm and staying safe. Live here in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Today, President Donald Trump says he will announce the United States will impose 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports, which includes Canada and Mexico. The president also says he will announce reciprocal tariffs tomorrow or Wednesday, meaning the U.S. would charge extra taxes on products from countries that have already put tariffs on American goods.
They are charging us 130% and we're charging them nothing. It's not going to stay that way.
Plus, President Donald Trump has a new target in his quest to cut government spending, the American penny. Overnight, he announced on social media he has instructed the Treasury Secretary to stop making new pennies, which actually cost more than 3 cents to make. Meanwhile, new CBS News polling shows the American public largely approves of the sweeping changes made over the last few weeks, with 70% of Americans saying President Trump is doing what he promised during the campaign. However, 66% say he's not doing enough to focus on lowering prices. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown announcing another lawsuit against the Trump administration. Now the state is zeroing in on President Trump's executive order on gender-affirming care. The order directs agencies to cut off federal research and education grants to medical institutions that provide gender-affirming care to anyone under the age of 19. This would prevent millions of dollars in federal grants from flowing to state hospitals and medical schools. Brown argues the order violates the Fifth Amendment's equal protection guarantee by singling out transgender people for discrimination.
It promotes harassment and discrimination against people that are already marginalized. It risks their literal health and safety and that of their providers.
The state is seeking a temporary restraining order to stop Trump's order. Oregon and Minnesota are joining the suit. Right now, President Trump says he plans to move quickly to fire FBI agents he views as corrupt. A list of the FBI agents who investigated the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol has been turned over to the Department of Justice. In a sweeping order, President Trump pardoned most of the people charged in crimes related to January 6th. Now some FBI agents say they're worried they'll be fired for doing their job.
Are you planning to fire the FBI agents who worked on those investigations?
No, but I'll fire some of them because some of them were corrupt. I have no doubt about that.
A group of anonymous agents and an organization representing other FBI employees filed suit to block the DOJ from publicly releasing their names. They agreed to provide the names on the condition the DOJ does not release them without 2 days' notice, allowing the union representing the agents time to contest the release in court.